Hello everyone, hope you're doing great. Are you doing great? It is now Sunday night. It's almost 11. I was watching KOJACK, but I've seen that episode so many times. I know every single line from that KOJACK. It happens sometimes. Sometimes I'll see what I think. Did I ever see that one? And I might not have, because it might have been from 1975, and I may have just forgotten. Otherwise, they play the whole thing through and they start it again. So the chance I would have missed it in 75 and then miss it again now, I don't know. But this video will be out either on Tuesday or maybe Thursday, because Treasure Boy is sending me Treasure Boy and his wife, Mrs. Treasure Boy or Treasure Girl. They are sending me a mystery box that they put together, and I will be opening that. So if that gets here tomorrow, I'm going to do that one instead of releasing this one. Don't forget to subscribe, please. But this, let me put a quick hook. This is about famous people. Famous people. Have I met famous people? Oh yeah. Someone's asked me, how many famous people do you think you've met? And I just started reading off some names of just people that I could think of, not even people that I had said, oh, that's right, I did meet so-and-so. But in my lifetime, I've met a lot. I grew up in Pasadena, California. We had a lot of music there. Van Halen came from Pasadena at the time I was in high school, and all that. I've met other singers through music. I used to manage bands. And you would see people that were maybe more famous in the band you're working with, or maybe your little band would be opening for another band, not necessarily, at the Staples Center or at Yankee Stadium, but maybe at a pretty big venue. So I did meet some there. Military, I met famous people through the military too. Politicians, some presidents of the United States I've met. And then a lot, of course, in acting, either in commercials or television or film, some live performance, but it's not necessarily that I was in a play with them, but I would be at an event that they were at, and we both were volunteering at, or we both were being paid to appear. So I thought, okay, I can make a video about that. People were asking about that, so I'm not going to name names. Some of the shows I've been on that I was a recurring person on for quite some time. The Office was one, so you may know some people from there. Out of Practice, that was a show that one lasted only 1 year, but I was on it the entire time. Full Circle. Those are some of the shows that I was a regular on, a recurring person. Some of you say I was a regular because I was on there on this Tuesday and the next week on Thursday. So I'm somewhat regular, or you're basically a two-time recurring person. Jimmy Kimmel Show is another one. So I've been on a lot of shows like that. But I think the big thing about meeting famous people is, what is your definition of a famous person? Somebody what's an important person. There's a lot of important people that are probably not famous. Your mother, for example. Maybe your mother is not famous, but she's pretty daggone important, isn't she? If it wasn't for her, there wouldn't be a you. Or there could be a school teacher that was very important to you, but not famous. So it all would depend on what is your definition of fame. Somebody said, well, if you have a speaking part in a movie or a television show, they would consider you famous as well. The thing with that is, you could be a background person making just the minimum money, and the one time they say, hey, do you think you could open the door and say, hey, let me get that for you, and open the door? Yeah, I can do that. Let me get that for you, and you open the door, and there you go. Now you've spoken on film. Are you now famous? Probably that would not meet the definition of those who are involved in filming as to who is famous. And also, who really cares? So I said to the lady who was asking about this, I don't want to put anything on her because I may say something that someone will take wrong, or I may insult someone, or there may be someone that you think is just the nicest, greatest person because you see them every Wednesday night on CBS, whatever, and I don't like that person. That person was not nice to me. So I'm not going to put on here who was nice to me when you ask. If you want to ask, just write down there, put a message in the comment section, or email me, and maybe I'll put a second video, like the most recent 10 people that I was asked about. Have I met them? Yes or no? And I can talk a little bit about that. Also, when it comes to making films, TV, commercials, whatever, sometimes you will be in a position where you are almost on the same playing field as them. Like you might be like a day player or a support person, supporting role, and you're actually going to have a lot of interaction. Other times you may have a good role, but you're not going to have any interaction. You might be on a B unit, for example, the A unit being the main unit, the B unit, they might be going out there and it's a telephone answering system or telemarketing thing, and you got a really big role in this on that movie or on that TV show as a telemarketer. But if you're a telemarketer, you're probably not standing next to the principal actors that are on there. You're probably on the phone with them. They might have a scene back and forth where you go on the phone. It could be a situation where you're playing, someone's playing a parent, and you're a school teacher, and then the principal goes, hey, we really need good old Johnny out there on the football field. Let's make sure. Well, I'll see what I can do, but he didn't do very good in his last paper, and I don't have too much faith for this one. It might be a good role. You may have some good speaking part of it, some good exposure, but really you don't have any interaction with the regulars or those that might be the principals, the top level of principal, the leads. So there may be situations where there's a famous person and I'm on a lower level, but they seek me out. Now, that has happened. I have been seeked. I've been sought out. So I might be one of the lowest level people, and one of the highest level people comes and seeks me out because they were told that I teach shooting. And I am very, very good at teaching those that are very, very scared to shoot. I was really good with remedial shooters that were unable to qualify either in the military or law enforcement. That were unable to qualify. If you can't qualify, a lot of times you'll lose your job. It's a requirement. It'd be like if I'm a chauffeur but I can't drive a car. It's kind of the same kind of thing. Sometimes they can throw you on a desk for a little while, but maybe there'll be a pay cut or something like that. I've had other situations where there was one guy in particular I knew at Carswell Air Force Base when I was stationed there. His wife and his 3 kids were already overseas, I believe in Germany, but he couldn't deploy. He was in the military, and his wife was in the military, but he couldn't deploy to be with her because he couldn't qualify. And one of the requirements for the job that he was going to go do, not the job, but just the assignment, was you must be able to be qualified. Does he carry a gun every day? No. He never even see one again while he's there. We'd have them fire right before they leave, because if they want a short term, by the time their term is up, the tour is up, and they come back, they can re-qualify. We can re-qualify them. This is no secrets. This is watch Comer Pilot. You'll see this. So I was very, very good at working with them with that. So after some of the things have happened, of course, 9/11 and different terrorist situations or high crime, a lot of people would like to arm themselves. They want to talk about guns. So you may get the highest level person, and I'm the lowest level, but when it comes to guns, I'm at the highest level, and they're somewhere from the lowest level to somewhere up there. And I always say, if you can shoot good, I'll make you shoot great. If you can't shoot at all, I'll make you shoot. I'll get you so you can shoot proficiently enough to operate the weapon. So whatever level you're at now, if I work with you, you're going to get better, because I'm going to see what you don't see, because you're here and I'm behind you and I'm watching. I wanted to make sure you don't turn around and, hey man, if I had some hair, you would have parted it, But also I can see what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right. So oftentimes I will be sought out where some of the others are not. And a lot of times that gets the others kind of mad, It's kind of like, if you're a criminal, you don't want hey, why does that cop like you, Johnny Five Fingers or whatever? I don't know. He just said, hey, you to me. I don't know him from nobody, Oh, I think you do know him. I think you're a rat. You're a rat or something. A lot of times they don't want, if they're nice to you but not nice to them, or having conversation with you, a lot of times they'll try to butt in. Well, I shot a gun one time. Yeah, go away. We don't care about that. Or a classic car or something. When I would drive my yellow car to set, the principals would come over and ask me to look under the hood, and sometimes I ask, can they even drive the car? Sure, here's the keys. Have fun. And I let them drive around until they needed my car back there or they needed them back there. So sometimes you'll have a connection different from other people. So sometimes I will be working with a very famous person, and I might not even know it. There might be a huge dialogue going in the room down the hall from where I'm filming, and there could be 9 or 10 of big A-list actors or actresses, and I have no interaction with them at all. And other times they'll come and say, hey, are you the guy that was in the Air Force? And they'll talk to me about that, and it'll be the opposite. I shouldn't have had any interaction, but I do. So if you want to know some of the famous people, I figure we can do it this way. Just ask, hey David, have you ever worked with, and I'll tell you yes or no. And if I have something nice to say, maybe I'll make a video about that. If I don't say anything at all, you can kind of read between the lines. You know, some of them are not very nice to me. Some of them are not very nice to anyone. And you got to remember, it's not their job to be nice to me. It's not their job. It's their job to be an actor or an actress or whatever it is, a singer or a dancer, whatever it is. They may be stuck in that. I mean, there's some really hardcore dialogue, and they have to really get into character. They might be a really, really nice guy, but they're playing a killer. They might be a really bad person, and they're playing a ballerina. Who knows? But they have to do their job, and their job is to make that movie, and they're being paid by the production, and they have to do it. And if they don't get it right, because they're sitting talking to me about how cute it is when you go to your kitty and your kitty's on the back, you go tiki tiki tiki, and they fight with their legs, and you talking about kitty kitty meow meows, instead of them learning their stuff and doing what they have to do and remember the directions. Okay, I gotta go from this. People that think they have to memorize their lines know so much more. They memorize where they're gonna stand, or how long they're gonna be here before they move over here. When are they gonna pick up? Are they gonna pick up a pen and talk with it like this, and then slam it to the ground, and then they I've got the pen. You know, they have to memorize all that stuff. So they're doing their job. It's not their job to be nice, but if they mistreated me to the point where I had to say something, I would vocalize. But they don't. Some of them just don't want to talk to you because they have other things to do. They're not there. It's not a social event. It's not a cocktail party. Some of them will go out of the way to be unpleasant, let's say, and some will go out of the way to be super pleasant. Some of them naturally are very, very good people. If they were told, hey, you know, I know you're the lead, but please don't talk to these guys, okay? We got work to do. And if some of them I know would say, hey, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm a superstar, you know. And some of them are nice to you for no reason, and some of them are not nice to you for no reason. So she was just asking about that. I can't remember who she wanted to know if I had met. It might have been Donald Trump, and I did not meet Donald Trump during his presidency. I did not have a chance or a job or a position where I would meet him. His next, after he's reelected in November of 2024, and he'll be taking office again in January. I don't think I will be once again in a position. I mean, I could be a census taker, and they want me to go to some event and clap my hands or do whatever. But I have met presidents. I can tell you which ones they were, and they were okay. One was very, very nice, and the rest, you know, they were the president of the United States. They got other things to worry about than being nice to this guy. So you guys have a great night. Take care. Don't forget, please subscribe, like, share, and comment. I need all of those things. I need likes, I need shares, I need comments. Someone's also asked me more about buying subscribers, and I was telling her that it's very easy to get ripped off, and she doesn't understand how it happens. So if you want to know how they can easily steal your money, and they do, not with bots and not with, you know, people that can be paid to join, but just by not doing what they say they're going to. I can tell you how they do it. Have a great day, have a great night, whatever it is where you are. Take care. This will probably be out either Tuesday or Thursday. Take care.